Taxes suck. Sure, we have to pay for education and infrastructure, and here in Germany, the great stuff. But what about those other taxes? The ones that make no sense whatsoever, but society is so adamant that you pay for it that folks are willing to call the cops on you if they suspect you aren't paying it. What tax am I talking about? Stick around and find out. Hello, ihr Lieblings. I'm Madi, a science fiction and fantasy author who's been living in southern Germany since 2014. Today, we're going to talk about what I believe to be the dumbest tax in Germany. You guessed it. I'm going for it. Today, we're going to talk about the dog tax. I'd actually filmed a version of this when I first started this channel, but then I scrapped it because I actually thought it would be my most controversial episode. Boy, I was wrong. But before we get started, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell if you haven't already. Here on Adventures of Lamadi, we talk about writing, living abroad, and everything in between. So I know what you're thinking, my non-German living friends. The dog tax? What? Yeah, I know. I know you don't like it either. Yeah, in Germany, you are expected to pay a yearly tax for your pooch. And that tax gets more expensive with each subsequent doggo. How much so? Well, I currently pay 84 euros a year for darling Roxy here. And if we were to get a second dog, that pooch would cost an extra 168 euros on top of the extra 84 that we pay for Roxy, right? Like, where the hell is the logic in that? And the tax rate is dependent on where you live. I live in the middle of nowhere, it's 84. If you go to Ulm, which is a much bigger city, it's like 65. If you go to Stuttgart, you get 108 for dog number 1 and 216 for dog number 2. What? I know. Some Germans are going to get on the comment section. Oh my goodness. They're going to get in the comment section and be like, it's a luxury tax. Okay, guys, doggos are not a luxury. I mean, I guess maybe in a way, because of course you can't put a price on a dog's love. It's priceless, right? Priceless. But you know what is a luxury? Horses. A lot of Germans own horses and they don't pay shit in taxes. Insurance, yes, of course, I'm sure, but taxes, no. And horses are like hella expensive. Like, for me, that is a luxury. And then there's the argument, but it's to pay for all the Poo Bags in the city. Remember when I said I live in the middle of nowhere? Yeah, there are no Poo Bags. And there aren't even like trash can for said Poo Bags. But you know what I do see a lot of out in the country? Horse shit. Right in the middle of the path where my dog walks and loves the taste of horse shit. Don't you? She does. It's gross. It's really gross. And no one complains about people not picking up horse shit. Actually, no, that's not true. People do complain a lot and nothing gets done. And then, of course, our cats, no tax as well. Like, our neighbor has 1 dog and 6 cats. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually quite jealous because I want a grumble of pugs. A grumble is a group of pugs. I want a grumble. But I can't because my wallet won't let me. Well, the taxes won't let me. Actually, when we were on the Baltic Sea, I saw a woman with 4 dogs. 3 pugs and 1 other breed that I couldn't remember because it's not a pug. I really don't care. Anyway, my first reaction was, holy shit, how much is she paying in dog tax? I was jealous, man. I was really jealous. Also, I can't stress enough that I live in the middle of nowhere. Like, most cats who live in this area are outside cats. And it take a while to guess where they take a shit. If you guessed outside, you're right. See, my community had a debate about this in 2016, and the town justified not only keeping the tax, but raising it. Not only because of its financial yield, aka free money for the city, but also for the regulatory purposes of controlling dog ownership. This will come back later. And the associated nuisances and dangers for the general public. Pollution of sidewalks, children's playgrounds, parks, agricultural land, etc. i.e. the place where all animals in nature defecate. Let's be honest here, it's not just dogs, and I don't see people in playgrounds or even in the farmland picking up all the poo they find. So I actually question how they actually use the money to save the public from the evil dog owners. I mean, like, yeah, I guess a lot of the dogs in our village are allowed to roam, but guess where they go to the bathroom? In my backyard, actually. Not in the fields. My backyard. And no one's coming to clean that up. Yeah, you could probably tell at this point I'm very passionate about this topic. Like, I don't mind paying taxes. I mean, I pay higher taxes in Germany than I did in the States, and I reap great benefits from it. My future children won't go into debt by pursuing higher education. You know, and let's be honest, the worst German roads is still better than some of the best American roads. It's bad, but it's true. But paying such a high tax on Roxy's for whatever bullshit reason they want is just that's something I'm not a fan of. But you're probably wondering at this point, like, where did that tax come from? Well, let me preface this by saying that this law and tax was common all over Europe in the 1500s. Whenever someone wanted to go hunting, they usually needed a dog to do so. And since these folks were then hunting on what was considered the king's land, there needed to be a way to control the hunters by keeping the dog population down. Thus, a dog tax was implemented. Fast forward to the 1970s, where literally every Western European country got rid of that law because they thought it was outdated. But not Germany, no. No, after 500 years, Germans still feel the need to control the dog population. But in reality, those politicians just really love their free money. In 2017, Berlin dog owners paid the city over 11 million euros in dog taxes. 11 million. Needless to say, they're not going to give up that free money anytime soon. And Germans are so passionate about this useless tax, plenty are more than happy to call the cops if they think there's someone who has an unregistered dog. I mean, look, I understand paying a fee to register your pets, and I mean all pets, horses and cats included. Because when I lived in Chicago, you were expected to register your dog, but you paid peanuts compared to what you paid here. And I don't understand why it needs to be so expensive. When I look at my community and not see what my taxes are apparently paying for, it just further drives home that this tax has nothing to do with dogs. It's just extortion. Because I live in a Gemeinde, okay? So I actually pay the taxes to the main town of that Gemeinde. And obviously they're not, whatever they use that money for is not getting distributed to the village I live out in, Podunk, Germany. It's a lot of money to give up every year to another town that I don't even live in. So that's not cool, guys. And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this episode, but I'm just not a fan of the tax. But if you want to get in a fight, in the comments about it, totally go ahead, because it'll, feed the algorithm and make this video more visible. All right. Roxy's like, I woke up from her nap so I can film this episode. She's not very pleased with me. Huh? No, yeah. And before you decide to call the cops to report the crazy lady on YouTube who doesn't like the dog tax, I do pay the tax, and I will continue to complain about it when I see it taken out of my bank account every year. So what do you think, fellow German dog owners? Should we pay this tax? Or should we make other pet owners also pay the tax? Or am I just an idiot American who for even questioning the validity of this tax that dates back from the 1500s? It's not broken! Don't fix it! Anyway, just let me know in the comments below. Anyway, thanks for joining me. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up, because it lets me and YouTube know you like content like this and you want to see more. Definitely leave me a comment if you have any questions or any other topics you would like to see on this channel. If you want fun escapism to a world where the dog tax doesn't exist, my Space Fantasy The God Queen is available in ebook, hardback, and paperback. I have all the links in the description below. And if you sign up for my newsletter, you'll get the first 6 chapters for free, and soon I will release a prequel short story for my newsletter subscribers, so sign up. And also, if you have read any of my work, or any work from your favorite author, please leave a review. They really help us out. And it's free to do so. And don't forget to connect with me on social media, whether it is through Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. And that's it. Hope to see you next week. Ade!